In Madison, some leaders in the Capitol are applying pressure to do something on the issue of gun control.
But if recent history is any indicator, it's going to be an uphill climb. Political reporter Will Keneally has more on where we stand right now. Will?
There's Attorney General Josh Kaul, a Democrat, who today called out Republicans for legislative inaction on certain areas of gun control.
What we lack is legislative will.
Democratic AG Josh Kaul says the groundwork has already been laid for the Republican-controlled legislature to pass gun control. They just haven't done so.
We know what kinds of common sense steps we can be taking in Wisconsin to make our communities safer. Things like keeping guns out of the hands of domestic abusers, universal background checks, prohibiting ghost guns. These are steps that have broad public support.
Those issues were on the table in 2019 when Governor Tony Evers called a special session to take up those bills. But Republican leaders quickly gavelled out that session with no debate. Republicans questioned whether those bills would violate the Second Amendment. So bills like a red flag law, which would allow a judge to temporarily remove a person's gun if they are deemed to be a threat to themselves or someone else, those bills are likely going nowhere soon. But Republicans floated their own legislation in the wake of the Texas shooting. Senator Ron Johnson asked the U.S. Senate to take up his bill today.
Adolescent and adult phases of their lives.
There's nothing partisan about this bill whatsoever. It's just a good idea that could save lives. It was such a good idea that under the previous administration, they set up that clearinghouse.
But Democrats immediately rejected Johnson.
Is there objection?
Reserving the right to object.
Majority Leader.
And Johnson refused to answer questions from CNN today on whether the country should expand background checks.
Including on firearms, on all gun sales. Why not expand background checks? Can you explain it, Senator?
So reporters asked Attorney General Josh Kaul if he feels confident that the GOP will feel any pressure to pass gun measures this time. Kaul said that, quote, "I'm not confident, but I am hopeful."
Will, thank you. Be the first to know as we learn new information about the Texas shooting. You can follow the latest details at channel3000.com and on our News 3 Now apps.